So, John, before we begin, tell us your business name, and how to get in touch with you before we dive into your questions.
Okay. So I'm Don Murray. I own a company called Ascent Trim and Wellness. We are at ascenttrim.com, 719-445-TRIM.
Okay. So, you've done a myriad of different, jobs throughout your life. Real estate, dog grooming, dog training, restaurants, car rental. So what made you jump into this?
Yeah, I kind of took a bunch of probably 25 years of business experience and a little bit of capital that I had, and I just really connected with the weight loss space. I got out of the Army in 1995, and by 99, I'd crossed over 400 pounds.
Okay.
So I think I got up to 420 pounds at one point, and in the late 90s, early 2000s, the solution back then was surgery. So my first option was a gastric band. So that's where they go in laparoscopically and they put a little band around the top of your stomach, and it's supposed to constrict food that goes in there. And nobody told me that your body could potentially reject that. So about 2 years later, I would vomit up my own soup. I couldn't swallow water. I would be at a restaurant at like a real estate dinner, and I would try to eat some soup, and I would silently vomit into my napkin and hope nobody noticed. And my skin turned yellow. I got down. I lost a bunch of muscle mass. I had no nutrition, and so I had to have emergency surgery to have that removed. They sliced my stomach open and tried to cut away all the scar tissue. It was just 2 years where my body was attacking this foreign object with scar tissue, and it kept getting tighter and tighter. So once that came out, I got back up to 350 pounds again, and then I did a gastric bypass surgery. So I've been on every crash diet, and I just became aware of some of these medicines that are out today, and I wanted to put together a clinic that would help people really get healthy and save us some money.
Okay. So speaking of medications, so I know a lot of places sell like the GLP-1s and the peptide medications, including online. So what do you do differently from other places?
Yep. So GLP-1s are super popular. Some of the big name brands can charge you up to $1,500 a month for a 6-week dose of this. But you can get compounded versions of those at our company at Ascent Trim. Those sources are all national. They're in the United States. A lot of what you can buy online for the super low prices, or your gym bro that's on WhatsApp, those are typically sourced out of China. And we have a lot of our clients in our clinic that tried that version first. They got really sick. And so the first thing we want to do is make sure we have a good source for the GLP-1 meds. GLP-1 is actually a peptide, right? So when you eat food, your body releases a chemical in your own brain that says, okay, I'm full now, but that only lasts about 2 minutes. And so when I was 420 pounds, I remember I used to drive tractor trailers, and I had this big old belly, and I'd be sitting in my cab of my truck, starving to death, hating my life, and then I would eat this huge pizza, feel great for 10 minutes, and then I would be hungry again, right? And so I think the benefit of the GLP-1 medicines in a safe format is that it quiets that food noise. But it's just one tool. There's other things you want to do to help protect muscle and things like that. But that's one of the things we do different is we have good sourcing, and we have a good protocol to make sure that when you're losing weight, that you're not dropping muscle, that you're protecting your muscle and you're losing fat.
Okay, I got you.
Yeah.
So your tagline for your company is just get back to you. Yep. What does that mean?
I kind of borrowed that from Nike a little bit, to be honest. But just get back to you is essentially where you feel good. We all have a point by which at some point in our past we're like, man, I felt great then. I could run, I can bend, I could stretch, I can lift. That's you. That's the you want to get back to. And sometimes over the course of a certain period of time, you start to feel tired, lethargic. I remember, I'm 53 now, but I remember in my late 40s, I would just try to get up from the chair and I would make noises. I would just go, ah. I'm like, why did I just make a noise? All I did was stand up, right? So those are the kinds of things you want to look at. And as a business owner in particular, if you pay attention to your brain fog, if you pay attention to how you're feeling in the afternoons, sometimes you don't make the best decisions when you're just exhausted, right? We're all in that place as business owners where I have to make decisions, I have staffing, I have payroll, I have these things I have to worry about. And if you're not sharp mentally and you don't feel great, you're not probably going to make the best decision for your business.
Okay. So is that where you came up with the business owner's body audit?
Yes.
Okay. So tell me a little bit, go in a little bit more in depth in that. I know you kind of did. But.
Yep. So there is a bunch of peptides available in the world right now. Some of them you'll take daily. Some of them are weekly. Some of them are a few times a week. But they all have different focuses. They're just chains of amino acids that you can take that allow your body to be its best version of itself. There's growth hormone releasing hormones. There are peptides you can take to increase your mental clarity. Obviously, the GLP-1s are for quieting food noise. But it's probably the biggest frontier in the medical field so far is the peptide space.
Okay.
And for business owners specifically, I want business owners to think about auditing their own body, right? Be honest with yourself about how you feel on a daily basis. How's your sleep, right? How is your muscle? How's your movement? And how are you feeling? And if you've got some of those areas where it's foggy and I'm not feeling great, then there is a solution for you at Ascent Trim.
Okay, fair enough. So your story is phenomenal. I love that. But is there a separate story that you'll just never forget?
A separate story that I'd never forget.
Like something along the lines, because you said you trimmed down from 400 pounds. Is
Yeah.
there another patient or individual that you've helped? And what was their story?
Well, actually, I'd like to talk about my whole team. So we've got an amazing staff at Ascent Trim and Wellness.
Okay.
Our entire team has lost over 450 pounds as a group. So Tamara, one of our coaches, she's lost over 100 pounds. Evelyn's lost 80 pounds. Lane's lost over 60 pounds. So everybody on our team knows what it feels like to really struggle with
Yeah.
trying to control food noise and just feeling hungry when you know you don't actually need to eat food. And so we all come from a place of understanding that person.
Okay.
We have a bunch of different services as well, but we're weight loss forward. So typically that's our primary client.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you joined Scent. Clearly you joined Scent for a reason. How is a group like this going to be impactful for you and your business?
Yeah. Well, it's a wonderful group of business owners. I dated a bunch of business groups for a while before I decided to join one. And when you do that for a while, you see which groups are impactful and which ones are just kind of there to pass out a card and hope somebody gives them something. But this group in particular really felt like these are business owners who are sharp. They're experts in their fields. I'm a power networker myself, and I like to be with amongst other power networkers. So yeah, this was an easy decision for me to make, and I think I've already seen probably 6 people from this group that have come in and done one-on-ones or have joined us in some of our protocols.
That's phenomenal. I
Yeah.
love that for you.
Yeah, that's awesome.
So if someone here personally wanted to take the next step, what would you want them to do?
It's super easy. It takes maybe 45 minutes. You'll come in and meet the team.
Okay.
You'll fill out a little bit of paperwork about your goals. But we have a really cool scale. It takes all the readings about your minerals, your water count, your skeletal mass, your
Okay.
body fat percentage. Really importantly, your visceral fat. Visceral fat's that scary stuff that wraps around your organs on the inside. So even if you look and feel lean, you might have some stuff that's actually causing a bunch of inflammation that wraps around your belly. We have some peptides that can treat that specifically. So the easy ask is come into Ascent Trim, stand on this really cool scale. We'll do an assessment with you and see where you are. It's totally free. We have a proprietary collagen-based protein blend that has ashwagandha for nervous system support and all of your nutrients and greens with 1 scoop a day. Gives you basically everything that you need that we blended ourselves.
Okay,
Yep.
That's amazing. Well, we've got time for some questions from the audience. Does anybody have any questions for Don? Whichever.
Some negatives that you encounter in research experience with these peptides.
Some of the negatives. So the biggest problem, the most popular one is GLP-1s. The question was, what are some of the problems people see with some of our peptides? GLP-1 is the natural chemical that releases in your brain. The shot version gives you quieter food noise for the week. The problem is if you have eaten a lot of food and suddenly you don't want to eat a lot of food, most of the weight that you lose ends up being muscle. So if anybody's ever heard that term Ozempic face, or you've seen these models or these actresses that suddenly just look ridiculous, their face is all sunken in, they just quit eating. They're like, this is great, I'm just losing weight. But the reality is you've got to learn how to protect that muscle. Muscle and sleep are the 2 most important things you can do for longevity. And we want to make sure that we actually have some treatment equipment in our clinic that allows you to lay there and watch YouTube while you're doing 36,000 crunches. So we can add muscle and we can protect muscle through the use of these peptides.
Maybe
Good question.
36 crunches.
Yeah.
Is there a difference between DRT and peptides?
Yes. So testosterone replacement therapy, specifically, we don't have hormone treatment in our clinic right now, but that's super popular. We do recommend if you're over a certain age that you can get those numbers checked. And I actually just did that myself recently just to see what my numbers were at. So women have progesterone and estrogen issues they want to look at, which can affect how your body responds to certain peptides. But that's different than the chain of amino acids you'll get from a peptide.
One last question.
How come you hungry more than you wish
a problem people commonly ignore, I would say their general health, right? You don't wake up tomorrow morning and just go, I'm tired, I feel like crap, I want to get it fixed. It's kind of a slow boil, right? The frog in the boiling water. So I made a noise in my late 40s when I stood up, and it took me 3 years to go, let me see how healthy I can get. And I'm 53 now, and I'm healthier than I was in all of my 20s and my 30s and my 40s combined, just by eating the right foods and moving and paying attention to myself, listening to your body. So I think when people start to listen to your body, the ROI on that, the return on that investment by putting your body first is massive. It affects your business, your relationships, the people, your friends, all of that. I would say that's holistically the best answer.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Well, John, this has been great and very informative. So tell us again, your business, and how to get in touch with you.
Yep. So I'm Don Murray with Ascent Trim and Wellness. We're right next to Target on Academy. It's 5426 North Academy. Phone number 719-445-TRIM, or go to ascenttrim.com and get that free assessment.
Perfect. Thank you.
Thank you.